shiny happy people. Welcome to Kimbaskrafts. My name is Kim, and if you're new here, hello, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, guys. Love you so much. So I have a poll here. Have to be careful. We are here with week 1 recap of the J Wall Along 23 diamond painting event. Yes. So this is a what did I get done on week 1? I got quite a bit done. Pretty proud of myself. And we're going to eventually get to the winner of last week's Whip and Chat prize, which was a $15 gift card to DP with Sparklers. And yeah, we're going to do all the things. We're going to have a little Whip and Chat. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, first let's go over what I got done. I was able to complete 13 and a half. Yes, I said 13 and a half. My squares, my blocks, my 4 across, 3 down, right? So it is 4 times 3 is 12. 12 of the 10 by 10 blocks. And it took me a total of 19 hours and 42 minutes to complete all of those blocks. Which I'm going to put up here what it is. And then underneath of it, I'm going to put on here average what each block took me. That being said, I finished the 14th block. So I did 13 and a half. I finished the 14th block this morning, so I didn't count that towards last week. That was this week. It is Sunday. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope everyone is having, if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. If not, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And if you celebrate Easter or not, maybe you're with your family, and I hope you're enjoying that. But yeah, so in the corner, it'll be how many blocks I did, how long it took me total for week 1, and then I'll put on there just for fun the average it took me for each block. The fastest block I got done was 1 hour and 2 minutes. The longest block was actually the last block, and it was 1 hour and 59 minutes, so almost 2 hours. But none of these took me over 2 hours. Average, it looks like like an hour and a half. It looks like it's probably going to come out to like an hour and a half. We'll see. I have to do the calculation, but it'll be in the corner by the time I'm doing this video. So let me show you what I got done. I had to put these trays on it because they want to automatically stay up. So yeah. And we'll go over what is happening in this painting so far. So I'm on row 2, and I'm working like this. So I went this way, and now I'm going back. And so far what we see in this painting is we see this blue butterfly, we see this large monarch butterfly, and these are animals here. That's a rabbit. And then over here, there's another butterfly. So there's the butterflies. Over here, we have like swirls of color. And here's her signature. Can you see that? Let me bring it up. So I'm not used to working from bottom to top. This is the very first time I've ever done that. So yeah, but look at the sparkle. There are no ABs in this, no crystals in this, but who would have thunk it? Because it is super shiny and gorgeous. And wow, I love it. So yeah, I'm really starting to hit a lot of confetti. I'm excited to get, so I did a lot of browns and then greens, and then I did a lot of dark colors over here. And I'm starting to hit a lot of light colors now. So we're going to work on this square together today during the whip and chat. But yeah, it's coming along very nicely. I got a lot more done than I was expecting. And I counted, we got 30 squares up, so it's going to be 10 columns and 10 rows. So I'm more than 1/10 done, basically. So, okay, guys, I'm going to switch my phone mount and we'll get into this whip and chat. But first, hold on. There's a sausage in the sun. Isn't she so cute? Okay. Be right back. All right, guys, we're going to try you up there because you're very high, like super high. And I tested it to see if I could like kind of get my head in it and not get my head in the camera, but I can't see what you are seeing. So, but I think we're good. Okay. So I just looked again. So we're going to finish this monarch butterfly. Here's the rest of the wing. And yeah, I had to bring all my boxes back out. You guys are way too far up to see that. I am going to, I also, because of the double 2 sheets of this opaque sheet here overlaps, I had to pull up the second square next to it because this square is underneath of it, so it's laying like this, and if I try to pull it up like that, it would have had this up. So I just pulled them both up and I just put a piece of release paper right here just to keep it safe. And just so you can see, this is how I've been keeping track week 1. So I'm going to use a different color of washi tape each week. And I can go back to purple if I need to because I didn't use it all, but you know, and it'll be in between different colors so I won't get confused. But that's how I'm doing it this time around instead of those small stickers. Yeah, I also got this cool little timer to keep track of each square rather than use my phone, especially like when I'm doing, like right now, the whip and chat. I'm recording, so I can't even see my phone, let alone start it, stop it, and yada, yada, yada. So as soon as I start laying drills down, I'll go ahead and click this big white button here. So I can link that below. Real quick, actually, let me zoom you out a little bit while we just talk about things like this. These are my kit up cases in case you have not seen any of my videos. There's 5 of them and they're just like that. There's my peanut lid. Yes, Peggy, I brought the peanut lid back. Love my peanut lid. This is just a ceramic cutter that I use to cut these just very gently. You don't need a lot of pressure at all. It works wonderfully. I'll link that below as well. I got it from Amazon and I get them in a 2-pack like this. Actually, I don't know why I zoomed you back in because I want to sit down, but I want to show you. I'll be using these 2 trays. When there's a lot of color, I'll use this one. Probably won't see me using this one as much. This is from one of our sponsors, DP Gal Creations. And she created these great J-Wall 2023 trays. So they're definitely a collector's item. I love white trays. I love her trays. So super happy to have this. And when there's a lot of confetti, I tend to use these gray trays because they're just real quick. They have very, very shallow, they're very shallow, so it's real quick, like picking boop, 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 boop. And you only need like 4 drills in that. Sorry, I just have my blanket here. And what else? This is my pen, my specially custom made pen from Crafted Makes. So Steven is the owner and the pen turner there, and he makes these gorgeous pens. So I know some people who are doing the event did get pens from him. Love this pen. It's working wonderfully. I did some multi-placing down here, but I switched over to single placing, and I've been single placing ever since. And I'm going to single place the rest of it. Just because I think I like the way the drills look better when I single place. And for some reason, it just, I don't know. The time seems to go by quicker when I single place on the J walls. I don't know what it is. It's very bizarre. Let's see what else. So those are 2 of our sponsors. I'm going to go through all of our sponsors. There's 8 of them. So DP with sparklers. Somebody's going to be winning the $15 gift card from last week. If you put the word sparkle in the comments, we'll pull out the comment picker later. So we have Crafted Makes, DP Gal Creations, DP with Sparklers, Cover Minders by Saban. The hosts are donating gift cards to her shop. We have Dainty Diamond Painting, and we have Captured by Radiance. We have Diamond Painting Shops, and we have the one with the diamond art. Okay, so all wonderful companies. I know a lot of people are doing J-wall canvases from the one with the diamond art, so very excited to see those come to life as well. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of activity going on in the Facebook. Really appreciate everyone who is commenting, answering questions. It's all very fun, helpful, asking questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Encourage everyone to participate to their comfort level. And yeah, just having a lot of fun. So I am doing J-Wall Whip and Chat. Next week, I am not up for a Whip and Chat, but, and I am not giving away a prize this week. So this is just me giving away last week's prize. This week, I am not giving away a prize, but, and next week, I may do a Whip and Chat, but it won't be, you know, an event Whip and Chat. So I won't be giving away a prize, and I won't be presenting a prize either. Okay, it would just be because maybe I just have some stuff I need to get out. Okay, so I think we got all the housekeeping things out of the way. I'm going to zoom back in so you can see the beautiful canvas. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start the timer here. And that's the sausage baking in the sun. I could force her out of this room. I mean, I don't think people are bothered by her snores. And if it does bother you, you know, feel free to leave a comment. Because I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like. I don't know if you're wearing headphones. Like, I don't know how loud she is. I know she can be loud sometimes. One time I was watching, just watching my edits on TV just to see how it all looked. And I heard her snore and I was like, oh, wow, she's loud. And she's in the sun, so she's feeling pretty good. She just had one of her sticks. And so, you know, she's dreaming. Now her fat's shaking. But she's been attached to my hip, and I think it's just because I've been solely the one feeding her and walking her. And Bob is like now trying to kind of assist with that. I think it's more just so he can get more pug love, which is totally understandable because you miss it. You really miss it. But yeah, so I've been kind of like, you know, full on taking care of her. And so she's been just kind of following me everywhere I go. So anyway, yeah, we've been making some pretty good progress. I've seen a lot of people making awesome progress, and this is not a race. So please don't compare yourself to each other. You know, everybody works at their own pace. Other people have other projects going on, all kinds of things, you know, life. So it's just important to just have fun and move at your own comfort, you know. Okay, just had to get a sip of that coffee before. Let's start the timer. Boop. All right, we're on the clock. I am going to do this color, and I want to say I have not run out of any colors. I have not had to, even though I'm more than 1/10 done this canvas, I have not had to replace any colors. So I have emptied, I think I emptied one box that I had filled up 2 for. So, but, and it has a star. So once I empty the second one, I'll have to refill, but I haven't had to refill anything yet. So it's been good. And, yeah, tell me how you're enjoying the event, guys. And if you're not in the event, tell me how you're doing. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone has a good Sunday, weekend, Easter, and all the things. I'm going to be giving life updates. And we always start with diamond painting, don't we? So yeah, I already kind of told you the event's going well. We're having a lot of fun with it. I'm co-hosting it. I do have 2 co-hosts, Debbie with the Crafty Diamond and Angie Crafting with Diamonds, and they're linked below as well, their channels, and they're both releasing Whip and Chats this week. They released one last week. What else? And I'll have our Facebook down below as well to join. So this is the color that I did run out of the second box of, and that's the double feet. I don't know if I'm in camera because you guys are really, really high, but I think I try to stay over the square. But yeah, the double feet, I used all of the color that was in here. And let's see here. Oh, I wanted to flip my glue dot over. Let's do that real quick, because when I go to pot dive, we're losing oomph here. So we're just gonna flip it over and see how that works. So it's a gorgeous sunny day here in New Jersey where I am. It is still a little chilly. It's a little nipply outside, but it is very sunny. It's a cloudless, sunny, beautiful day out. I did see some people sitting outside. They had like company over for Easter, and they were enjoying the sun. So it was nice to see. Okay, let's see here. So let's start with diamond painting updates. I am also, while I'm working on this, I am also working on my Forever in Your Heart. And I don't want to post, the reason why I haven't really been posting on Instagram, like I'm going to post my first row after this Whip and Chat goes up, because, you know, then I like to wait for it to come I want to wait until I post my weekly update before I post the rows on Instagram, if that makes sense. And the reason why I'm not posting the Forever in My Heart is because the person who I am making that for, the family, both of them, the husband and the wife, they follow my Instagram and they tend to like a lot of the photos I put up. So they would definitely see it, and I don't want to give anything away. So I'll be posting row by row of that one when it's after Mother's Day, after I give it to her. So that's why my Instagram has kind of not been active for a little bit, just because everything is like under wraps right now, if that makes sense. And I officially put myself on a no-buy. I'm just going to say it. I put myself on a no-buy. And when I say no-buy, I specifically mean canvases. Like, I still need to buy my coasters because I'm doing one every month. And I don't have, like, coasters for every month. But I officially put myself on a no-buy for 2 months minimum. I should be going back to work towards the end of April. And right now I'm written out of work until April 24th. So the week of April 24th, I should go back to work. And I don't really see a need to extend it right now. Everything seems to be going really well. I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah, I don't foresee needing to extend it. I may ask him to put me on intermittent, just in case Bob needs like more frequent doctor's office visits. Hopefully they become less frequent, but just in case. Or, you know, God forbid he needs to go to the ER one night for whatever reason. You know, I have the ability to call out without getting in trouble, because, you know, I don't want to risk, you know, if problems develop and I end up having to call out a couple times here and there, I don't want to risk getting in trouble for it. So that's why they have these safety nets for us workers. So I probably will ask for that. But yeah, that's just to have as a safety net. So I really don't want to buy any canvases right now, because I am not in work. I'm not working. And you know, I have plenty to keep me busy. Like at this point, it's just because I have unrealistic, it's kind of like, you know, when you order stuff when you're hungry, you order food when you're hungry, and you order like 5 different things and you can't even eat one of them. Yeah, that's what it is with diamond painting with me at this point. So I really want to, this is annoying. I really want to just reel it in and try to stay a little more realistic. So yeah, but like I said, you know, if I need sparklers to gussy up a painting or something like that, or, you know, I don't know, I need washi tape to match a painting, or I really shouldn't need anything, period. But my note buy is strictly a no more paintings for the time being. I still have 2 orders from companies that take a little longer than other companies in the wins. So I still have things to look forward to. And I'm saying 2 months because even though I go back in April, you know, I have some money to make up for this time being out. So I just figure, you know, just don't spend any in May either. Like, and maybe you can put the smallest, tiniest dent ever in your stash. That's the goal. But okay, so that's my diamond painting updates. Working on the Forever in My Heart, working on this J wall. And I do plan on kitting something else up. So we will do that together when I'm ready. And I think that's it with diamond painting. And then let's do a quick update on Bob. So things are going really well with Bob. We did have to go back to the ER, but let me tell you the story. It's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. So he's still on the TPN, which is his IV nutrition. So he still has his central line, his long-term central line, his PICC line in his arm. And he's still getting TPN. But we're really, really honestly feeling like when we follow up with the doctor on Friday, he's going to be comfortable with Bob's weight gain and say that, you know, we can finish off what we have and that we don't need to continue it. We both feel pretty confident in that. And that's what we're both really hoping for. We're also really hoping that maybe the doctor will feel comfortable enough to pull Bob's drain. I don't know. He said less than 10 cc's a day. We've been getting exactly like 10 cc's, and this is, you know, I'm subtracting the flush. So so we're hoping, you know, Bob's pretty optimistic. He's like, hey, we have a whole week. So we're hoping that the next few days it starts to dwindle down to where it's less than 10 cc's. And maybe he can get the drain removed on Friday as well. I mean, I know he would love, you know, I couldn't imagine having no tubes and lines hanging out of him. So that would be really, really nice. So yeah, things have been moving along, but we did end up in the ER. So the last time, okay, he went back to the hospital for 3 days, and it was because he had an infection, and they put him on antibiotics, and they restarted his TPN while he was in the hospital. He came out and he's been on it. So he's been complaining to me after I hang his TPN. He would tell me, you know, something's wrong with this TPN, because ever since they started it in the hospital, I have been having, that's the wrong cross. I have been having to get up every hour to go to the bathroom, and my mouth is so dry. It feels like a desert. Like I can barely swallow. I'm constantly having to drink water in the middle of the night, and it's like every hour I have to get up. Like I'm so tired, and I feel completely and totally dehydrated when that TPN's going. And he kept telling me this. And so I said, all right, well, you know, we'll tell the pharmacist maybe. And he said that he did not have this issue the first time he was on TPN at home. So he kept saying, can we just go back to that formula? Like, why do I have to have this formula? Obviously, something's not right. And I was like, well, you know, I mean, at this point we had like 4 or 5 bags of it or whatever in our fridge. And I'm like, you know, we'll have your labs done, and, you know, we'll certainly tell them about it, and we'll see what your labs say. And, you know, maybe they need to make an adjustment or whatever. But he was like, I'm afraid to take it and all this. And I'm like, would you stop? And he's like, no, it's totally dehydrating me. You know, shouldn't I be concerned? And I'm like, no, you're getting 1,800 cc's of fluid from this bag every day. That's more than you drink. Like, you never drink 1,800 cc's of fluid. So I was telling my girlfriend, who also was just recently on TPN, and she said that her TPN also made her feel like that, like dry mouth and all the same things, right? And she said the same thing I said. She's like, no, you know, he's not, with the TPN, he's not going to get dehydrated. And I said, oh, that's what I told him. And she's like, and if he's making urine, he's not dehydrated. I'm like, that's what I told him, you know? So, oh, these are arrows. These are lines. I'm looking at the arrows like, where's this line? Silly girl. Okay, so, you know, so then he says to me that night, before I was talking to my girlfriend, he says to me, I'm going to ask you one more time. You're not concerned with me getting dehydrated on this TPN. You feel totally comfortable hooking me up and it's safe. So he's like, I just want to make sure you feel, I said, I'm not concerned. And then that night, I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone. We were both talking to her. And, you know, he was like, okay. He's like, you know, if everyone thinks it's okay, okay. Well, that day, the nurse had come and she drew his labs. And, you know, she sent them off. And then, you know, I hooked him up to the TPN, talked to my girlfriend. We told him he's not dehydrated. He's totally fine. Stop being so dramatic and everything. Next day, they call. And I missed one of these. Oh, I missed a couple. Did I do these? Oh my goodness. And she says, so I know you've been complaining of feeling dehydrated. She's like, your labs say you're dehydrated. And I was like, oh. I'm like, oops. Oh my God, I see another one of these crosses. And she's like, yeah, your kidney function has like really gotten bad. And I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, are you serious? So if you are in healthcare, then you know that we monitor a kidney function by a lab result in a blood result called your creatinine and your BUN and creatinine. And that's in a basic metabolic panel. And so that is obviously something they send, and they check his kidney function, they check his electrolytes and all the good things. And so normal creatinine is below 1. So he left the hospital, his creatinine was 0.6, so it was really good. And when she called, I mean, I'm just giving you guys like numbers for reference here. She called and she said his creatinine had bumped to 2.76, which is very high if your baseline is point something. Very, very high. And so that shows like acute kidney injury. And, you know, just to give you an idea, like when you start hitting the 3s, nephrology's on board. They're watching your output. You know, they're making sure your kidneys are going to recover. And, you know, I mean, they could even be talking about dialysis if you stop peeing or urinating altogether. So it's pretty serious, right? So that was showing high. His electrolytes were showing high. I'm like, wow, I'm a horrible nurse. Right? And so his potassium was high, which it wasn't like so crazy high. It was like, get to the ER right now. But you know, your potassium is very, very critical. When it's very high or very low, you could have a heart attack. So it's a significant electrolyte, right? Your sodium potassium pump and all of that. So yeah, she's like, you have to go to the ER. This could be a false draw, like, you know, maybe the nurse didn't flush your line adequately, and so some of the TPN got mixed in there and all this stuff. And you know, it could just be like a bad lab draw. She's like, you know, but we have to absolutely have your labs drawn like stat emergently, and the only way to do that is for you to go to the ER. So called his surgeon. Surgeon's like, absolutely, he has to go to the ER, go to the one closest to their home. They don't have to drive all the way up here, because if it was a false lab, then, you know, he could just go home. Now, the reason why obviously we were all concerned is because Bob had these complaints that he was feeling significantly, severely dehydrated. And I was like, oh, hush now. You're okay. You're okay. Stop. Not everything has to be so dramatic. Well, so yeah, we drive to my hospital because that's the closest one. And we go into the ER. Also, we went there because I looked up the ER times, and that was like the shortest ER time in the area. And so we got in right away. Like literally we walked in, we told them what the problem was. They took him to intake, and then they called the tech and they're like, can you do an EKG on him? He had reasoning is hyperkalemia, or high potassium level. And she's like, well, we have a room ready for him right now. I'll just take him back to his room and do it there. And so we were in a room literally within minutes of walking through the doors. Luckily, we went when we did, because it did get busy very quickly. But anyway, after a few hours, you know, we had to go through the whole story. I mean, the whole story, like why he was even on TPN at home. You know, they need the whole shebang. So we tell the doctors all the things, and they draw the labs, and a couple hours later he comes in and he was like, so it was a false alarm. Your creatinine came back at 0.9. So, you know, you're good to go. You can go home. Your potassium was 4.0. Like, we got all the good numbers. So, Kimba was right. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. I didn't hear any numbers. I heard, Kimba's right. You're dramatic. No, I'm just kidding. No, so it was a false alarm, but I think we're going to get a bill in the mail for $250. So we're walking out, and I'm like, you know, that bad lab draw cost us $250. And Bob's like, would you have rather they kept me? And I'm like, yeah. You want to be a dramatic? You got to pay for it. I'm just kidding. So yeah, we got home. It was like a whole 4-hour stint. Yeah, ever since, no issues. Things have been going really well. He's got his sense of humor back. I was like, yo, I thought I told the doctor to sew these mouth shut, see, but no, sense of humor's back. He's back to being Bob. So yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. So it's a shame because I still have to help him shower and everything, because he has the PICC line that we can't get wet. So I wrap his arm in saran wrap, but then he can't use it. It's got his, he has to hold it up in the air. So it's a very small shower. So yeah, I still help him, like, you know, get washed up and stuff like that. And I know, you know, that would be so good, you know, the feeling of just being able to do all of that again by himself. I mean, obviously in the beginning I did it because he couldn't bend over. With the surgery he just had, it was like, yeah, didn't feel good to bend over. He just physically could not do it. But now it's just, he's got the drain, so we try to keep the water off of the site, you know, whatever falls down there. And then I change the dressing after every shower, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So we're hoping all the devices are removed this week. That would be just absolutely wonderful. So we're good on that front. And another awesome thing that happened is, so I keep having these dreams that my arm works again. Seriously, like, I have these dreams that, like, I just go to reach up in the air and my arm just shoots up. I mean, like, every night I have a dream that my arm's working again. And my immediate reaction is just to break down and completely just start bawling and screaming at the top of my lungs that my arm works again, and trying to show everyone. And so I had a dream that I was able to put my hair up in a ponytail. And so I literally woke up and I told Bob, you know, oh my God, I had a dream that I put my hair in a ponytail. And I was like, I was crying so hard, you know, that I was able to do this. And so I actually went to the gym that day. And when I was in the, what is it called? What is that place called? I missed 2 feet. The locker room. I went up to the mirror and I was like, let me try to put my hair in a ponytail. When I say a ponytail, I don't mean a low ponytail like at the base of my neck. Like, I've been doing low side ponytails on the side of my injured arm. I mean like a ponytail. So I got my rubber bands out and I was able to put my hair in a high ponytail. I was able to reach my arm up and back there and do it. I couldn't believe it. I took a picture. I sent it to my husband and my daughter. I was like, yo, look what I just did. I'm so happy. I'm like tears are running down my face. I have my hair in a high ponytail right now. I can't keep it in a high ponytail for very long because my head's not used to it anymore. I haven't been able to do that since September, guys. Yes, I have not been able to put my own hair in a high ponytail since September of 2022. And now I can do it. And I've been doing it every day for a little bit because I had it up that day for way longer than I should have. And I started to get a headache. And I remember I was sitting here, I was diamond painting, and I was like, oh, my head, I'm starting to really get a headache. And I thought it was, again, I always go back to my glasses. I'm like, is it these glasses? Like, have I been sitting here doing this too long? And I realized it was the ponytail. Like, I just had my hair up for too long after not being able to do it for a very long time. So that is the update on the shoulder. So it was a little bit of a letdown though, because after I put my hair in a ponytail, I was like, oh, I am unfreezing, which I certainly must be, right? Because I am starting to get range of motion back. So I go out and I start stretching it. I went on the stretch machine and I'm like trying to like hang from it, like hang on it and all this stuff. And I had to still like like pick my arm up to like grab the ring and stuff. And I was like, wow, has it gotten any better? So that was a letdown because, you know, I mean, I've heard so many people say that one day they were just able to like raise their arm up again. And so like every time I get a little bit of range of motion back, I'm thinking, oh, okay, so like my arm is just going to work again. And then when I go and it's, you know, no, that's not the case. I get a little frustrated. So yeah, I just did a lot of stretching. I was very sore the next day, but still very happy that I can at least do ponytail, because that was really irking me. And I think that's it with the shoulder. So gave you I gave you diamond painting update, a bob update, a shoulder update. I want to give you the burning bush update. So I saw the neighbor finally. I was walking the dog and he was walking his dog. And yeah, and I saw him and you know, we always say hi. So, and he has a Doberman. Diamond painting with sweet tea. I keep meaning to comment on your Doberman diamond painting. It reminds me of my neighbors. It was very cute. But anyway, every time I think about the Doberman, I'm like, I got to go back to that video because I watch it on my TV. So anyway, so I saw him, and my dog, of course, his dog doesn't bark at all at my dog. Big Dobie. I think she's a sweetheart, but she looks absolutely menacing. And she's just standing there looking at my dog like, you're a snack. And my dog's like, so I had to crouch down and like literally put my hands over her eyes so she couldn't see her, so she would stop. And I said to him, so what was with the burning bush? And he starts laughing. He's like, oh my goodness. So he tells me, now remember I said he was out there and it looked like he was doing yard work. Well, he was, he had a hedger, like an electric hedger, not hedger, I guess like a trimmer, like a tree trimmer or clippers, like electric clippers or whatever. And he had it on, he had it plugged into an extension cord, and he had it up, he was like going towards the front of the house with it. And he said he laid it down, and I guess it was still running. And when he laid it down, it cut through the extension cord. And it sparked, and it immediately lit the bush on fire. And so he saw it happen, and then he ran in the back. And thank God, like he had, thank God, I guess he had enough sense to first plug the extension cord, because yeah, you can't put, if he had, I guess, just started dousing it with water, he would have electrocuted himself, right? Oh my God. And when you're reacting like that, like, could you imagine? Oh, that's just so scary. So yeah, the fire department came out and everything. And he said that they told him, thank God it happened where it happened, because if it had happened, like where, I guess, like on the side of the house, they said it would have gone up under his eaves, and the fire would have immediately gone into his attic, and it would have burnt his whole house down. What? Yeah. They said there's no doubt that his whole house would have caught on fire. So, he's like, that's the second fire I caused. And he goes to tell me that, so it's funny because they had a sunroom that they converted into a room as well. And we used their contractor. That's who we got the contractor's name from to make my craft room. But they must, I didn't know this, but they also had their kitchen redone. So, but these guys are really retired. They're like retired. We just live here. We're false advertising. They're the real deal. So he said that he put a pot of oil on the stove and he went and sat in the converted sunroom and forgot about it. And his wife wasn't home. And when he went back out there, he had like pretty high flames from that oil. And I guess he must have gotten the fire extinguisher. But he said he burnt up the bottom of his cabinets and everything. He said, yeah, it was pretty bad. And so he's like 2 fires in the last year. So I told him the story about how we lit my house, well, my ex-husband lit the house on fire with the rags from staining the deck. So I was like, well, you're not alone. But wow. So I did say my joke. He did laugh. I don't know if he thought it was funny, but he laughed. I was like, most people just cut them down. I just killed me. Anyway, so that's the update on the burning bush. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess like, I don't know, like, I've done stuff like that where like you should turn it off before you put it down, but you just put it down without thinking about it or something like that. I'm trying to think of an example, but I know that I've done, silly things like that. And so I can totally see how that happened. But thank God it only went where it went. So that was pretty scary. I told him the whole story about the cursing with Bill, and he was cracking up. When it happened, it was funny because he was like, yeah, I put it down and I guess he walked somewhere, and he's like, I turned around and I'm like, oh, and he said the word too, and I was like, that's exactly what I said. I mean, like, when you see like 6-inch flames, what else do you say? It's pretty much the appropriate word, I think. So this is super confetti heavy. There's like so many color changes happening right now. Okay. I have a list here because I knew I would forget what I wanted to tell you guys. So the other thing that happened to me that was really, really cool was, how I did all that jazz from Oraloa. So I posted the reel of it being done, 1 row at a time. And apparently the artist, her name on the website for Oraloa, her name is Claudia McKinney. Well, her name on Instagram is Phatpuppyart. I did not know that. And I know I've heard her name before. And she saw the reel and she liked it, and then instant messaged me a voice message saying, she was so sweet. I'm very shy, so I didn't instant message her a voice message back, but you know, messaged her back, and she was just like, thank you so much for promoting my art. You know, I mean, she was just so sweet. And she said that she's trying to grow her, her Instagram. And so now that I knew who she was, like, because I didn't know who Claudia McKinney was, you know, I went back and I tagged her on all of my All That Jazz posts. So, you know, people wanted to check out her other artwork. She's got some awesome artwork. I mean, like, really awesome. Every one, I'm just like, oh, that would be so cool as a diamond painting. I actually did send a couple of them to Oraloa because they're like watery color rendering style. I just would love to see Oraloa create a couple of her other images into diamond paintings. So I'm praying that they, you know, contact her to do more because they were really gorgeous. And I said to her, I was like, after I went on her site, I hit her back up and I was like, wow, I really hope I see more of your work with Oraloa. And she wrote back, well, you know, your feedback to them would always be helpful. I would love, you know, to have more of my work as diamond paintings. So really hoping that that happens. I would be just so ecstatic. I'm going to link her Instagram below so you guys can check her out. Yeah. I think you guys will love her work as well. It's just really, honestly, very, very pretty. There's a lot of them that are very pretty. So I'll you know what, maybe I'll put a link of the two, the specific two that I sent to Oraloa, hoping that they'll pick up. But you know, they did write back saying that thank you for the recommendations and everything. So I hope it does go somewhere. I'm praying, really, really praying. That would break my no buy. 100% would break my no buy. And let me see. So yeah, that was so cool. You know, I would love to tag the actual artist. I should try to take time to figure out who they are, you know, what their pages are, because I don't know, you know, art like that. But this dog is out of control. Oh my goodness. So yeah, trying to think what else. I don't think there is very much else, to be honest with you. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I've been talking for 43 minutes, and you know, that beginning reveal and all that, this has got to be over an hour now. So I think we'll go ahead and do that comment picker and see who won the gift card. And whoever won the gift card, if you could just go ahead and email me, and I will forward your email to DP with Sparklers, and they will, I think, send you a gift card code. I believe that's how it's working. But Yeah, I know I want to order more from them. They are so fast too. So if it is for your J wall, they are super fast at getting their orders out. I think I got all the bombs. What do you think? It's a lot of colors. I don't know how many pots I dove into, but I think I have like another 50 colors to go. It's crazy. All right, so I've been working for 44 minutes and 41 seconds. Diamond painting. All right, hold on, guys. Let me zoom you out, and I'm going to grab my laptop. Hold on a second. Okay, so, open up the website, and I need to get to YouTube. Can you guys see what's happening? Okay, that's the exact one I need. Okay, so I need this. It's so funny that it was like the first. We're just gonna pause it because we don't need to listen to it. But what we need is this URL. So we're gonna copy that. Okay, now what we need is we need a YouTube comment picker. And so we just click on this. Did I click on it? Okay, now we put the URL code here. Oh, this isn't free. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, so paste there. Filter okay, so filter duplicate users, filter comments on specific word, and that word is sparkle. Okay. All right. Start. Sparkle. Why is it giving me a copy? Paste. Okay. It says there's 70 comments. Get YouTube comments. Okay. Okay, so there's no spin on this one. So the winner is Mandy Moran. So Mandy Moran wrote, I love the sparkle in diamond painting. It is so beautiful. So you are the winner, Mandy Moran. If you email me your email address, I will get that off to Diamond Painting with Sparklers. My email address will be below in the description. Okay, congratulations. And I believe it's going to be Debbie giving out this week's prize, week 2. So you're going to want to hit up the Crafty Diamonds channel to see her whip and chat this week, because 1, she's given away her week 1 prize, and then 2, she is announcing her week 2 prize. Okay, guys. All right, if you guys like this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on the way out, and if you want to see more from me and continue to watch the progress of this gorgeous painting, I would love to have you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family and friends here at Kimbaskrafts. We would all love to have you. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Keep diamond painting.